already hit it on the thing of the. I'm sorry. It's a good thing we're podcasting this morning.
And that nobody needs to understand us.
Oh, they don't understand me anyway. That's all I've learned from our feedback. Because we get so much of it. I know. I caught your attention. She perked up. She perked up. As if I said, cupcake? Yeah. All of a sudden she was like, bink. You have my full attention.
Milestones are hard. Boy sleepovers and club bondage. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do. Why is it that the one of us who sings isn't the one who does the...
I don't like it. And I can never remember what that fucking song is because I don't listen to I don't ever play it.
Why would you? It's not on
your... You know what I'm saying? And it's like until it starts up, I think it's... Like I don't even remember what that's of course SpongeBob version of how it sounds. Under the sea.
Under the sea.
If you're curious how it sounds under the sea, that's how it sounds under the sea. Hello, Melissa. Good morning. Good morrow. Good morning to you.
Good morrow. I would like you to know that the feedback I have gotten on our last episode
there's
has
feedback. Okay.
all been about one comment that you made.
What did I make?
That made everybody wet their pants with laughter.
What's that?
I was vulnerable. As I never am. And I told you a deep, dark secret of mine.
Yes, and I forced you to put it on tape. Yes.
And I said to you, I have a wild crush on Harry Styles.
As you should, rightly so.
And I felt...
Endorse. Yeah.
Dirty. I felt basic. I felt stupid. I felt icky. And I said to you, I do not liking what 11-year-old girls like. 11-year-old girls. And you said, do you remember what you said?
I think I said 11-year-old girls like cake.
Yes.
That doesn't make you hate cake,
Yes.
I think.
So the emails and texts I have gotten have all been of friends and acquaintances and just dear listeners saying, Amy owes me money for new pants because I wet them. And yeah, I like cake and I'm not ashamed to say it.
You should. We all do. And Cake by the Ocean even. It's all fantastic.
Cake is great. And so is Harry Styles. So
he really is. And he was in the news again
this
week for Nothing Burger. I looked it up thinking I would bring it here that we're now all of a sudden Harry Styles-ish. Instead,
podcast.
No, it was clickbait. And honestly, it was from CNN clickbait, which I'm like, really, CNN? Really? Yeah. Harry Styles stuns fans at the Brit something. Who cares awards? So I'm like, what'd he do? Click.
What did he do? Close his shirt?
No, he spoke like an American because he's dating Olivia Wilde and being in one of her movies. And they're all heartbroken and teary-eyed and crying because we need to get him back to England stat so that he can continue speaking like one of us. I'm like, fuck all y'all. He's been over here. That is dumb. And he did sort of sound American, but it wasn't like Madonna pretending to be English. Like it just sounded like he'd been away from home for a long time. He wasn't putting on airs. A lot of his dialect was kind of sliding into American stylized. And guess what? He's not been in his hometown for a long time, but you could still hear it. Like you wouldn't listen to him and think, who's that American guy? I mean, it was completely, it was like, I fucking know he's British, so it's just fuck off. Stupid.
I promised Ginger that I would throw a musical into every single show we do.
Oh, I like
and
it.
I already did something from Little Mermaid as this started, but you just said putting on airs, and in my head I said strutting like a peacock, and I started to go into Fiddler on the Roof, but I'm going to rein it.
I don't even know that song. That's crazy.
It's better that way. Count yourself as smarter than I
Well,
am.
here's one very quickly that Ginger will appreciate. Hi, Ginger. Hi. So I started watching late. I'm sure everyone has already seen it and read it and be like, oh, Lord, she finally caught up. A Discovery of Witches. A friend of mine was doing the PR for that campaign, and I sort of was like, I don't want to. She's one of these people that has Disney cells in her house, like original cells.
Yeah, it says a lot.
And I'm like, how can you be this high up at this many companies? And I don't get it.
And still
She
need an
doesn't have
original
kids.
Mickey.
Well, she doesn't have kids, so like maybe that was from a long time ago or from like a nephew. I don't know the backstory. Just found it unusual to see in a public space in her home. Regardless, I've been watching A Discovery of Witches, and it's pretty much like it was like Twilight meets Outlander meets Time Traveler's Wife meets, I don't know, all the ones that you've seen. They just kind of blend and morph all the stories together, and a lot of the same Downton Abbey, a lot of the same actors too. So it's ridiculous. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I can understand the production meeting. I can visualize how this got made because they're like, all right, let's take this from here, that from there, and see what we get. Oh, there it is. But it's fine.
Don't you feel like you've seen it already?
I can tell you that I got all the way to the end of season 2, and in the penultimate episode is when they finally fucked. And I thought, this is taking a long time. They were married before they would do it. I'm like, did I miss it? Did it just PG-13 myself out of this? And then when they finally did do it, I'm like, this is the big sex scene? Wait a minute.
I feel cheated.
I feel like you now all of a sudden have somehow... I've crossed over into like porn town that I
need
want to watch
more.
these. Then I'm like, yeah, where's the shot? Come on, give it, AMC. What are you doing? It's a back? I don't need to see a back.
I need
Stop
to see
it.
a front.
Yeah, I mean,
you could always go back and watch Outlander again, and even
I can't watch that anymore because now I'm too fucking embarrassed. And I should have been embarrassed from the very first episode when they're wandering through some ruin as anthropologists
As
or
you
something.
do.
And and in 1940, and he goes down on her. I'm like, no one in 1940 was ever going down on a fellow anthropologist on the table in a ruin. It just doesn't. I'm sorry, that was not happening. It wasn't even invented until Harry Styles was born. We all know this.
What are you talking about? There is a point
Nobody-
in every
nobody
episode
was
of ours
ever-
where you
nobody-
take a dog leg and assume everybody's with you.
No man was ever going down on a woman in the 1940s.
Are you
a new
kidding?
thing. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Oh,
Back
my-
me up. Back me up, ladies and men from the 40s, because that's our listener base. Speak up. Fest cop to it. You only started this last week. We know it.
my
We
God.
know it.
Dear listeners, we have a few of you who are new to our show and who are catching up. You don't have to go that far back. I would like to welcome you. Some of you I can call by name, Mark, and others of you I can't yet because nobody's supposed to know you're listening. We're your secret pleasure.
Oh, wow.
I know,
Okay,
it's
all
very
right,
it's very exciting.
okay.
Today is a Sunday. Sundays are really good days for yard sales.
Sunday morning. Not selling my stuff. Nope. Not doing it.
So, garage sale, why can't I quit you?
Every single time I say that I'm not going to do a garage sale,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, a secret lover. I don't even know what it is. I can't let it go. I troll the internet. I see, is there some way I could just do it? We don't need to be prepared. We could do this. We can't do this. We can't do this. Fucking hate it. I hate it. There's nothing about it that brings me any satisfaction or joy to do it or to not do it. That is the challenge. I am equally dissatisfied if I don't have one and if I do have one.
Do you have a neighborhood yard sale
So
going
me
on?
thinks. No. So me thinks. Have it. And at the end of the thing, if you're going to be dissatisfied anyway, and it's going to be a lot of effort and work anyway, at least somebody's going to put some cash in your pocket. But then it's just so, I feel so sick and disgusted by it and tachyfied by it. You are my rock. Why can't I learn from you? I refuse. I'm now actively planning a garage sale for next week. And the only reason the only reason this is fucking happening is because my husband is not home right now. And my son is looking at me going, how can I help you? What should I be doing? And I'm like, well, what if we did this? Like I've mentioned for the past 17 years of your 19-year life, if you pull that stuff down from the attic in the corner and the thing in the book, all you have to do is promote it somewhere and you can keep all the money. Just get it the fuck out of my house without throwing it away. Because I don't want to donate it.
Right.
And I don't want
Why?
to throw it away. Because the donation things are all charlatans and scams. They're not. Some of them support programs and associations that I find are hurtful and harmful to people. Some of them are actually just exploiting your donations they keep an excessive and inordinate amount of the profits. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's all better, but when I donate stuff, I typically will go find a local organization that has, a gaping, empty garage stall, and I'll roll up and just dump it in there. And they say, "Oh, thank you," and they hand it directly to people who are
and you can
very
see
much
it
in
happening,
need. And
right.
I can see it happening. Yeah, and I don't think they need my kids' cleats, right? So I mean, there's just at a certain point, I don't think they need the sofa that's been in my garage now for 3 years.
The Brilliants have participated in only one of these garage sales, and it was horrific.
Oh.
Yard sale, garage sale, whatever they call it, wherever you live.
I wish there was one of those. I wish that positive pressure was here. And I could
But
make
it's
it happen
just you.
by
You're the
looking at my
pressure.
neighbors. Oh, I could look at my neighbors and say, "Hey, fools, let's have a garage sale." And they go, "Okay," and they'll drag some shit to the street. But I don't. That won't. I won't.
You
do
should.
Any of these things.
So it's
I
not
won't
just
do any
you.
of these things. I won't.
So
honestly, it weighs on me.
What's horrible about these sales is that people come when you say it starts at 7 a.m. because people come early. It starts from 7 to 4 or until everything is gone. People come at 5:30 and they sit outside your house.
Gross.
They came to our door and said, "Here's my favorite. You got owls?"
Owls?
And that was actually my response. Owls?
Oh my
Yeah,
Jesus!
I'm here for owls. I'm like, first of all, I still have the slumber in my
I don't
eyes.
even know what the fuck that is. The stupidest. Oh my God.
My dogs are going crazy, and now my little children are up, and I hate you. So I don't have any fucking owls. Keep moving. They come at super crazy. So today it's the equivalent of Ray Dunn. You have any Ray Dunn mugs?
Oh, that's so funny. The worst we ever got is, "You have any tools or guns?" In the same sentence.
Tools or guns? Yeah, well, you're
Yep.
in the South, so.
And I was like, "Can you leave, please, and forget this address?" Yeah, it's another reason that I don't like fucking yard sales. Gross.
So during that yard sale, there was an on duty. I would love to tell you they were off duty. An on duty ambulance corps that drove by, and we had a ping pong table.
It's an emergency. We need the ping pong table.
Yeah, and what you don't realize necessarily is that my husband is the director over at the emergency department and their medical command. So he's like, "Hi, guys. What's going on?" Thinking they're like, "Oh, shit. I don't think I'm supposed to be here yard
Or putting this
sailing
ping
right
pong
now."
table in my medical vehicle. But it's
And-
actually a good size for it, really.
Yes, and taking it back to my house, hoping that I don't get a call between now dropping it off at my house and then going out for a call. So you saw like their eyes widen and the bead of sweat start to form. And I thought, oh my God, what's going to happen next?
Please tell me he was cool. Please tell me he was cool. Please
He
tell
didn't
me
even
was
need to be cool. He just said, "Hey guys." And they said, "Do you think you could keep this here for us till end of shift?" And I said, "Oh, I see where you're going." Before he walked out of the house, they're like, "Yeah, it'll definitely fit. You take this end." and then he walked out and they were like, "After shift, we could come get it," or at end of shift, whatever it was. But I think he would have been cool. He doesn't really care as long as you're doing what you need to do. Which
terrible.
they couldn't possibly have done with a ping pong
that's just
table.
so funny. It's like the male-female thing. So part of the garage sale madness, I've mentioned before that we are watching the fairly rapid destruction, annihilation of all of the green space around our home.
Aw.
We bought a house specifically because it backed up to 14 acres of beautiful,
And a mule.
massive, old-growth woods. And the people who owned it, it's a church. They sold half of that acreage to a developer, and they're in the process of clear cutting it. And they're not even doing it artfully. You would expect, I don't know what logging is like, but they just come around with this machine with the claw on the front, the jaws that go crunch, 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 like it looks like a dinosaur coming to you, Iron Giant dinosaur. And they comes over to the top of the tree, chomps on it, fucking backs up and rips the tree out of the ground. I've never seen anything like this. It's very weird and alarming that this machine is like, "Hey, watch me fuck some shit up." Row! So this shit's going on.
You have
Blah,
three
blah, blah,
sons.
blah, blah.
Do they want to climb in those machines and just?
No, it's they come really, really close to the property line, and the guys doing it are not really all that skilled. I'm certain that they're great, but it's just strange. One of the dudes the other day was wearing a dress shirt, like a button-down Oxford shirt. Yeah, I'm like, you're working a bucket truck?
Is he doing this on his break from his other
No, and he
job?
got off, and he was an old dude, and he got out of the thing, like grandfather old dude, got out of the thing and wanted to talk to me over the sound of the machine, and I couldn't fucking hear him because of the sound of the machine, so he's yelling and talking some kind of backwoodsese. I don't know what the fuck he was saying, even if I could hear it. It was like,
oh my God.
and then he gets back in the thing.
Again, forget my address.
And I'm like, great. While I'm fucking standing on my patio, rips a tree out and the limbs land on my patio. So I'm like, yeah, maybe he was telling me, don't stand here without a hard hat, Missy, because I'm gonna fucking fuck you up. In any event, all this shit's going on. And that means that the trampoline that we had, I'd like to call it at the back of our property, but properly on their property. The edge of the woods had been cleared for some time, so all of us here that abut it had basically been using a half an acre behind our houses as just the rest of our lawn. Well, not so much anymore when the giant trees and water lines and all the shit's going through. So we've dragged the stupid trampoline up into our yard, and we're like, yeah, for the 6 times that somebody jumps on this a year, it's going to go bye-bye.
You're going to get some money for that.
No, I'm not.
Why?
You would think. I need it to be gone. And it's a really nice one, actually. And I thought, how am I going to get rid of this? I can't have a garage sale. I can't put shit on Facebook. I'm starting to get stressed out. I spent a good 2 hours. I wish I was lying. 2 hours of my brain continuing to go over these fucking thoughts. And I couldn't get out of this loop. And I'm like, you're wasting your time. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? I walked out into the street and realized all these little fuckers live up the cul-de-sac from us. So I walked up to the cul-de-sac. They never mask. They're always sitting in their driveway. They put up amplifiers on poles like they're a band, and they use the cul-de-sac like a little teeny bopper mosh pit, right? So I walked up to Tricycle Town, and there's nobody knocking on the doors. I hear the children running everywhere. Don't see any parents. All the doors are locked. Nobody's answering the doors. Okay. So... well, I don't know if they're locked. I didn't try the fucking doors.
Like, were you jostling all the doors? No,
I rang that ring bell, and you can hear it like whatever. So nobody. Anyway, so there's some dude coming in and out of his garage. His front door is standing wide open. So I got to walk into his fucking house, right? I start to walk up, and I'm like, hey, hi. And he's looking at me like, who are you? What you selling? And I said, are there any littles around? And he looked at me like, what is going down?
I'd like some
and
kids.
He said, no. And then I whisper talked loud enough for him to hear, put my hand up in front of my face and said, you want a trampoline? Because I thought if there's a kid, they'll start screaming and he'd be screwed.
Right.
And he says, yeah. And I was like, sold. And I said, I'm going to put it in my truck and bring it to you right now. And he was like, okay. So I went down and started packing it into my car. The man said yes. And not 10 minutes later, he rolled down with his kid on their fucking dumb bicycles. It's 5 houses away, and he rode his fucking bicycle to my house. They come to my house, and he's like, hey, my wife says, can maybe we do that in the morning, because she reminded me that we have dinner reservations and blah, blah, blah. He just started flapping his face, and I was like, sure, no problem. And I'm thinking, fuck this, man. I was like, sure, that's okay. Here, let's exchange texts so we know who each other are and all the way. Okay, wait. Okay, fantastic. Great. Exchange the texts. 40 minutes later, what do you think happens?
My wife said no.
Pussy Patrol wants to text me. She said it's a hard no. Our backyard is too small.
For a free trampoline.
Where is your dick? I'm sorry. I am sorry.
It's not safe. It's not.
No, I don't care what your reason is for no. I don't care what your reason is for backing out of this. If you want to come at me with my wife said no twice, I don't want to know you, Calvin. I'm embarrassed for you. Come at me with, I just thought about it and I feel like I'm going to pass. Sorry I led you on. Be a man.
And
Be a human.
And I admire his wife for having that kind of control.
So stupid and gross. It makes me angry that people like that still exist. You're allowed to change your mind, but to blame it on your spouse, that's gross. I mean, imagine if that was a woman. She's like, my husband won't let me do what I want. It's just the whole thing fucking turned my stomach. And I think it's because I was still so angry at having to fucking move this thing and put it in my car, which I would not have done. And the fact that I still feel like I need to have a garage sale. I feel like I need to have a garage sale.
Well, you
but
are.
I don't want to have a garage sale. I'll back out of it.
You will?
Back out of it. Of course. Who's going to have a garage sale? Creepy people come up to you and haggle over things for 25 cents.
You got
I should
owls?
give it the fuck away. I can't fucking give it away. It's the home edit. The home edit has made me insane now. I feel like I've got to get rid of stuff, but I don't. But I know it has value, so I don't want to throw it away because I feel like I'm throwing away money.
Those people also went into my garage and said, you know, my kid had like battery car things, small cars. We actually had a John Deere Gator that they used to drive around the neighborhood.
Oh, fantastic.
The two of them in there when they were little. And they're like, I'll take that. I'll give you $10 for that. I'll give you that. Get the fuck out of my garage, first of all. Everything's in the driveway. Do I need to close that door for you? Like they went in like, what about your tools? I'm like, they're my tools. They're not only stuff on the driveway. That was my first comment. Just what you see on the driveway, just what's on the driveway. And then
can you get out of my
of my garage? And my kids were so cute. They had a cooler with water because it was summer and it was hot, and they were handing out water to people who were shopping.
Oh, see.
Do you have wait, here's the way you decide whether or not you're really having it. Do you have a money belt?
Fuck no.
Or a change maker?
Lord have mercy.
Then you're not having then you're not doing it.
I have like I have something with like I guess I have. It's like a mini apron with with like a pocket in it. Is that what you're talking about? Like a pouch?
Do you have a cash box? I meant like one of those change dispensers that you have on a belt.
No, I'm not selling ice cream in 1940. Okay,
when women were not
40s with you. I'm telling you, nobody was having this happen, and that's a guarantee.
They were absolutely receiving oral sex in the 40s.
They absolutely, women were not.
Yes,
are you
were.
kidding? They're barely getting it now. I'm sorry.
Amy.
Do the research. You love your research, porno. Do the research. It is not common in the United States, and it is common in Europe. Another reason I want to fucking move. I'm just here to tell you it doesn't happen. I love how you're like, yeah, whatever. It's blah, blah, blah. You don't know. You don't know this.
Here's
and
what I know.
Do. You don't know, and I know it.
Right. Here's what I know. I was on TikTok again.
That's a problem. You think I have
I don't
problems?
think it's a problem.
You should. That's another reason that you should question every answer you give to these questions that I give you. Because if you think spending that much time on TikTok, check your TikTok number. I bet it has how much time you've spent on TikTok. And it'll be like, how long has your phone been active? Like, that's how long you've been on TikTok.
I give myself like an hour a day, and it's not all at once. It's like 10 minutes here, whatever. So I was on TikTok, and this young, handsome boy is on my For You page, and he says, hey, I want to let you know what happens at boys' sleepovers. He said, I'm 18, and it's only this year that I've figured out who I am and I've come out. But when I was younger, maybe he's 20. When I was younger, I used to go to sleepovers with like 3 or 4 or 5 boys are at a sleepover, and they all absolutely jerked off together.
What?
So I said, what? And I played it again.
This is a gay man. It's a gay man wants to tell you what happens.
It is,
at
but
boys'
he
sleepovers.
played sports with these boys. None of them were out and openly gay, and he is the only one of those 4 or 5 boys who is gay, he reported, and he said it absolutely happened. He said we never jerked each other off, but we absolutely jerked ourselves off in a group together with boys. And I thought out loud, what?
Bullshit. Bullshit. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. This comes up from time to time. It is such bullshit.
Is it?
I have heard of one instance of this. One. And it was from some, let's be honest, country boys. They was some country boys. And the reason we heard about it is because the parents were like, oh my fucking God. And so there was a little bit of chatter going on about this. And then everyone went home and asked their children, does this really happen? Is this a common thing? Because your friend did this. And and the kids are like, no. And that's fucking weird. That's like the hazing stuff that you hear on some sports teams sometimes where they do like weird sex hazing, like stick your finger in somebody's butt. Like what? I don't even get how that's hazing for either one of you. But yeah, it's like that's not a common thing. So these kids, these country kids, evidently went into the treehouse. They were neighborhood kids. They all grew up together. And once they went into the treehouse together and decided, let's see what happens if. And they stood around and Buzza buzza bazinga. That's what happens.
Standing around is a special one. It's called a circle jerk. They have a whole
I'm
name
not
for it.
involved. I find it gross. These are children. This is a really sickening thing that we're even talking about it. But we became aware of this. My kids didn't even know these. Parents were telling me when the kids are already in high school, they're like, remember that time when blah, 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 blah. Let's make fun of our kids. And they were talking about how the one parent whose house it was so embarrassed because had to go around to all the other parents and say, okay, so this happened because that parent's kid came. The only reason he learned about it is because his kid was shy and upset because evidently his dingle was not as large as the other dangles that were there, and it didn't work, or he had some sort of malfunction, and he was concerned and crying about it, and came and talked to his dad about it, and his dad's like, no, you're okay, but maybe let's not stand around and pull them out and make them perform in front of others in our backyard, because that's super gross, and we're not doing that anymore. Stop it.
So you have 3 sons.
Indeed, I do.
Who've been to numerous sleepovers.
Myriad, and had them here, yes.
And this has never happened.
Nope. Not once.
And there's not a chance that you're naive about this.
No, there's not a chance that people are humping it. There's just not. They are absolutely, the oldest one is absolutely doing things he should not with girls. He's done it here. He's done it elsewhere. He's doing it in the fucking street right now. For all I know, it's Sunday morning. Let's go. So that's happening. He's been caught at school, in closets, everywhere. That's happening. I know that's happening, right? And he has told me in graphic detail what he has done and when with all of these people. And he similarly has told me absolutely never experienced anyone or anything doing that sort of thing. Ever. Not boys. They just don't. And I don't know if it's the crowd they run with, which I would say is a normal crowd. It's just not. I'm telling you, there were these 3 or 4 neighborhood kids, three of the kids I knew. I don't know if there were others from their neighborhood who had that one treehouse incident, and it was one time. They didn't then go have sleepovers and decide, hey, movie's over. I guess it's time for bring out the Vaseline. That's just not what happens. That's like saying little girls get together and jerk off at their sleepovers every fucking time.
No, it's not.
It is. It's how is it not? 1940s cunnilingus.
Because
exactly fucking same.
Because there is less shame on boys doing things. Girls are not as free with their, I'm using your verbiage here, dingles as boys are. I
don't know. We don't talk about dingles in this house. I don't even know what I call them. I've never called them a dingle, but we can call it that for this show.
You just did.
I'm just trying to.
Okay.
I pay attention to what I fucking say. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's coming out of my mouth the second it's out there. Anyway, I think, well, you're the one that wants to tell everybody there's a humping phase. So in preschool, where all the girls are,
yep,
singing a little song.
Right. So 3 to 5, they're humping, but those boys are like elbow deep in their pants. The girls are, but they are, yes, they are humping. And all of these things are age appropriate. Curiosity. But there's a certain age where when you whip it out and you touch yourselves in front of other boys and compare and do, look, dear listener, I am curious. What do you know about this activity? It's
gross and nobody does it. That's the answer.
I think Amy's trying to tell us it's urban legend, and I'm trying to tell you it's real with the feels. Like it is 100% real. My kids don't really go to sleepovers, so they're not the right ones to ask. So I don't know how to, but they do go to camp. And I will tell
we're on swim teams, we're on sports teams, we're in communal showers, we're all the time, right? There's a lot of availability. You've seen the stuff. I don't think that you're that curious in terms of comparisons. And honestly, I really don't feel like they're that interested in one another. I'm telling you, the oldest has told me every fucking thing, to the point where I know more than I ever wanted to fucking know. So this is not a taboo topic. He would fucking tell me. So I will follow up again. And
one of our listeners posted a Tosh.0 picture on Facebook the other day. And it's from UC San Diego. And it's a masturbation notice. And it says...
Oh, what? Okay.
And it says... Masturbation in the showers is a violation of the 6th College Housing Code.
What?
The shower drains are not designed to handle semen. Repairing clogged pipes is expensive and time-consuming. The costs and it costs thousands of dollars. We understand that you must take care of your business. We ask that you do so in your own room rather than in the showers.
That's such horse shit. Human hair from your fucking head is going to clog those pipes.
To me,
Semen
it is.
does not clog pipes. Yeah, that's a joke. No.
So I laughed out loud and thought,
That's gross and false. Yeah.
that cannot be real, but it is still hilarious.
I agree. And whoever fucking jerks it in the shower, by the way, I guess, I don't know.
Oh my
boys do it 'cause
God,
it's
are you
messy.
kidding me?
What is happening at your house? Okay. I don't, the questions that you ask, the things that you think are normal, I get a little bit alarmed.
It is
I'm glad.
totally
I'm
normal.
glad this is a public forum so other people can say, we agree with you, Fugazi. Nobody's fucking jerking it.
Dear
in the
listener,
shower.
Amy would like you to tell her. I know
You
this
are,
isn't-
whoever jerks it in the shower. Do you ever think, I'd like to take a shower? I'd like to jerk it. Let's go to the shower.
Yes.
If
The cleanup is the easiest it's ever been.
What? Come on.
Oh my God, Amy. You have
Well,
4
I'm
penises
not a
in
boy.
your house.
I'm not a boy, and I'm a little bit gross. So I don't necessarily get super hung up on, I must immediately clean myself. I must take a shower this second.
It puts
So-
the lotion in the bath. You
Yeah,
you say everybody tells you everything in your house. Well, here's your opportunity to prove it. I want you to ask who has masturbated in the shower. And
They're not
4
doing it in the shower.
out of 4 of your boys will raise their hands.
I'm talking about women, though. Really?
Wait a minute. We were not talking about women, first of all. And second of all, yeah, women too.
I guess. I don't know. Sex in the shower is also kind of a pain in the ass.
Well, it's
though, isn't
awkward.
it?
It's just usually this.
There's never enough room. Something's always cold. It's like so much more exciting and hotter in your brain, and then you get started.
And in the movies.
And you're like, "Fucker, get out of the way!" It's like, no,
I'm freezing. This is
I
not
think I might
good.
slip.
Right. I'm leaning on something and
So
it's moving.
sexy.
Yeah. I'm
super
not,
sexy. Yeah.
the idea of it absolutely is much better than the actual execution. And execution's not a terrible word for it either. But I want you to know, like 100% of people that you see on a day-to-day basis have masturbated in the shower. And the fact that you are fighting it.
No, there's nothing. Masturbation is great. I fully endorse it. I love it. I'm a fan. I have in my life masturbated in the shower. Ring a ding.
See,
Check a box.
100%.
Yeah, I don't sit to myself, Jeffrey Toobin style. It's the middle of the workday. I've got to masturbate. Quick to the showers, Batman.
I'm not
I mean,
saying
that's not
you
my
go
look.
there to do it, but while
That's
you're
what
there.
I thought you were saying.
No.
What?
It's
While I'm there, hey, I got to shampoo my hair and wait a minute. Oh, what's that?
Let's let the
Have you been
conditioner
there
work.
the whole time.
Let's let the conditioner work. What can I do for 3 to 5 minutes?
See,
I
you're
know.
Gross again. You're gross again.
I'm not gross. It's not gross. It's delightful. It's not gross.
Good Lord. When you're in the kitchen making eggs, you're like, ooh, these eggs remind me of ovaries, and ovaries are part of the reproductive system. Let's do it. Clear the counters. I mean, it's like everything. Goodness.
So what you're saying is no boy in your house has been a part of comparing and jerking off in a situation. And
I have been told directly by the oldest one who I trust and the second oldest one who I do not trust. He would completely lie. So that's useless information. He would conceal it at all costs if you could even engage him in this conversation. But his friends, no, I would never want to talk. That's the other thing. I would never want to talk. There's something.
no, I'm not talking to my kids' friends
Well,
about this.
But it's like at a certain point, you've got kids from daycare or whatever, these parents, and then they start talking to you like, because you've known these kids from a very long age. And then somebody will let it slip and talk about like the size of this one's penis or something. And I'm like, I just can't. I'm not talking to you about the size of your kid's penis. I can't do it. I can't physically do it. It's just, no. Not doing it. She's counting.
You've
counted?
There are 4 grandchildren in the family. Well, if you're going to add both sides, 5, 6. There's one of all of these grandkids that everybody at every gathering is like, oh, well, this one, blah, 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 because his penis is so big. We've all changed your diaper. We know. And it's just a joke. When he went to college, his mother said, be sure you get the magnums. Like, she was very clear, and everybody knows how big he is. And do you think he minds that people talk about it?
I do.
Or is it a badge of honor? Because he's so proud and will say things like, well, not for me.
I think of the penis like the SAT score, right? It is your business to share. And if you would like to tell people, and once someone else knows if they would like to tell other people, that's the only way to keep a secret is to never tell it, right? So if you are comfortable talking about something that only comes out when you say, then go for it. So I feel like it's not my story to tell. And I honestly, I got some good stories to tell. I'm not telling any of you, but it's not up to me to talk about that kind of stuff, right? We've all been on the swim team. Everybody knows what people are packing, okay? So there's Tinder profile elite for a reason.
I mean, I've never been on a swim team. I don't even know how to swim. And yes, stories are aplenty, but I like your relation to the SAT score though. 11-year-old.
Yeah, it's like I could be super proud. I can get really, really excited, and at the same time, I'm not you. When you want to start telling people what that number is, then I can cheer it from the heavens. But until and unless you do, I will just.
Yeah, but when you're in college and you're hooking up with people, and you say, "Oh, I met that guy at the deer park last week." No, I met that guy at the deer park last week, and I couldn't handle what he had to serve up. And so girls, either if that's what you're looking for, that's where to look. And if that's what you can't handle, stay away from that. Like, there's definitely girls talking about boys and their parts.
Yes, I fully endorse this. 100%.
Okay.
I'm saying as the parent of this person.
Right? Oh yeah, my
as someone
relative.
that I am in no way, or as a relative, as someone that I am in no way sexually associated with, in zero way, right? Yeah, make that creepy face because that's how gross. It's like that's why we talk about the fucking parts. It would be less creepy to talk about their poops at a cocktail party.
We talk about that too.
Do that either.
We talk about that too. Yeah.
Oh my god, so, the humping pooping parties.
So this same relative, when he was tiny, ate like 7 blue fruit roll-ups and very blonde little boy. It exploded out of his diaper. It was in his like white blonde hair, and that was my inauguration into the family. I'm like, I got it, and I
right, but I don't mean like now that he's at Vanderbilt. You're not like still having those blue poops, Todd. I mean, that's you've like moved on to something else. I hope. How's your dick? Nice and big? You jerking off the showers? Better not go to Berkeley.
Oh my God.
They'll kick your ass out.
Yeah, they're not changing
hippies. I got news for you. They're putting so much worse than spooge down those drains. That's somebody wanting for TikTok followers. You should know as a TikToker. You should know.
I'm just a follower. Hey, I was at the Amish market this week, and you know when they lifted some of the face mask issue stuff, if you have,
I do.
So I'm there, and I would say still 85-90% of the people were wearing masks basically in public because you don't know who has or hasn't gotten a vaccine. So while you're just being careful in a crowded place, wear your mask. It's no big deal. You've been doing it for over a year. You're good. These old guys, I say old guys, they were like 60s, maybe like late 60s, walk in with their bald heads and their attitudes of, I can't believe these sheep are still wearing masks attitude.
Stay the fuck home.
They are the loudest. You don't want to wear a mask. Don't wear a mask, but shut the fuck up. I don't care what you do. I'm wearing it because of you, because I know you're an idiot, and I don't know if you have...
You're a fucking pig who's probably been jerking it in the parking lot.
If not twice in the shower, right?
Because you're gross. That's right. Down the drain and got kicked out of Berkeley.
So I take a number, and I'm waiting in line. So the guy comes over and says to his friend, give the girl, this is my favorite, give the girl $1 for her lower number. He's talking about me.
I don't understand what just happened. Someone came up to you and you're what? I don't even get it. I know there's an insult in there. I haven't found it yet.
He's
Tell me
talking about
catch
look at all these sheep, and everybody grabs a number, and his number, like there are a bunch of us waiting there, so he's going to be a while.
I got the ticket counter.
He's going to have to wait a while, and they're like, give the girl, that's me, $1. All right, first of all, if you're going to bribe me,
right,
you got to do better than that. Like,
is
that what I give off? Like, she'll take $1 for anything. Give her $1. You could get a handy in the parking lot. What are you saying about me?
Oh my
You're
God.
the idiot. And he said, look at all these sheep. You would think these people would be smarter and know they didn't have to wear a mask. And I thought, how quickly can I get out of here? I'm so grateful that my facial expression isn't visible. And all of these things, comebacks, are in my head, but they're not really talking to me. So it's not as much a comeback as it is a fuck off and a verbal attack. So I'm like counting to 10 in my head, because I did learn that the only things you can control are your breathing and the voice in your head. And a voice in my head said, they'll be dead in a few years, probably from COVID. Like,
few months.
I'm just like trying to talk myself through it. And when they don't get a reaction from me, they move on to the next victim of their verbiage. And it was really kind of gross. Are you having any experiences with unmasked people that surprise you?
Not as directly as that. And I just want to hang on this one for a second. I'm trying to visualize these, bald-headed dick
khakis, collared golf shirts.
They're look buddies. I thought these were like some
matchy.
Some outside Philly
loser,
overweight, gross, completely self-absorbed,
bald belted khakis,
dick holes. No,
right off the golf course.
Those were look buddy. I know what you're doing.
Look buddies.
Yeah, fuck you and your Dockers all the way back to the bank, because nobody's interested
in your dollar,
in your tiny little money market account. Fuck.
But
you.
By the way, do you masturbate in the shower while I've got you?
Who would want to know? Because you're so gross. Yeah. So no, they're just arrogant pricks. What we deal with down here, is a growing number. The places that I frequent are pro-mask, and it's a requirement, and that has not changed. You are going into, they haven't lifted anything. So it hasn't been an issue in the supermarkets and, wherever else I might be going. Restaurants, nobody's ever really complied with the mask thing anyway, because you're in a restaurant. Some would kind of enforce or look down on wear the mask to and from the table, to and from the restroom. But for the most part, it's kind of a free-for-all in there anyway. So now it's just back to normalsies. And some of the restaurants that got cited for violations that I didn't frequent every fucking week through the whole thing never had masks anyway.
Right.
So it's more a matter of me going into places where this sort of thing has been happening the whole time. And yesterday, when I went up to the neighbor, the pussy who wouldn't take the trampoline, right? Because he's got a wife carries his balls around in her purse. Sorry, that's so mean, but it's fucking true, Calvin. I don't even know you, and I don't want to. So I walked up to him without a mask, and he didn't have a mask because he never fucking wears one, and nobody thought twice about it because we're all vaccinated. So I'm relying on the vaccine like I did on my birth control pill all those years ago, right? Because the vaccine has a higher success rate, efficacy rate than the pill did. And I never once thought I was going to get pregnant. It didn't occur to me, and it didn't stop me from trying. But I'm just here to say. So I really do, falsely or no, trust it. It's honestly, we're back down to, if you're ignorant enough to not get the free, widely available protection that you need, and you're determined not to wear a mask because you haven't worn one all along, I don't know what to say to you. Roll the dice on your own terms. I hate it for the people who are going to have to help you live. I hate it for people that have to help white supremacists live, and horrible people that, Nazis that come into the emergency room that fucking got to help you live because that's their sworn oath, and that's why they're good people, right?
But they could giggle about it.
Well, all I'm trying to say is, so now me wearing a mask is protecting you. I'm done protecting you. I'm done. I don't care. You're not going to hurt me because I'm trusting the vaccine. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do. I super, super do. And I'm just ready. It's hot here.
Oh, to
wearing
take
those
it off.
Wearing those KN95. I've got glasses now that I wear all the time. It hurts my.
By the way, I'm
my
so
face.
used to your glasses. I love them. They help define you now. It's kind of just part of who you are. I'm over the. Oh, look, she's got. Oh, that's right. She has new. Nope, I don't even.
It's one of those keystone habits. As I've been doing a whole lot of learning in this area, in this space. I'm turning into one of these asshole people that wants to talk about vibrations and frequency and habit forming and all the rest of it. And one of them is you have formed yourself a keystone habit of riding the Peloton.
Yeah.
Now that you've started riding the Peloton, you're eating healthier, you're sleeping better, all the things, it's do this one thing, and then other areas of your life are going to adapt and flex around it to rise to that same level. So the keystone habit of the glasses, start drying my hair. I've started losing some weight, eat healthier. Blah, it's all happening. I'm wearing this horrible shirt that I fucking hate. Every time I put it on, I want to kill somebody. This shirt is like the garage sale. I won't throw it out. I won't return it.
I love it. It's an animal print.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it with a white hot passion of 1,000 suns. And even today, when I was putting it on, I immediately changed my attitude just the second it went over my head. I was like, I hate this fucking shirt. I hate this fucking shirt. Why am I wearing it still? I hate it that much.
Wow.
And I won't throw it out. Why can't I do the things that I'm supposed to do? Where's that book?
I don't know, but something definitely clicked in you. I don't know what it was that made the choice, the decision, the day that you woke up and said, here's what I'm going to do. And you started to keep to it. And I'm wildly impressed. I still see your food choices that impress me. I mean, you say, I know, I started eating well. I want pizza every day of my life. I can't stop wanting. I still eat cookies during the day. I don't really eat well per se, but I'm taking care of inside. I'm doing one thing. So you're doing all of the things. And that is
all of the fucking things all the time. I'll tell you what really made the biggest
exhausting.
difference. It's when I stopped masturbating in the shower.
Is that what did it? Because I'm not.
The whole thing turned around.
I'm not stopping.
I went to one of these overnight masturbation parties, the sleepovers
yeah.
we go to.
Yeah.
And they didn't have enough showers for us. And I thought, you know what?
Let's do it here together and watch each other.
Let's try it in the kitchen. So, yeah. So I have thoughtfully and actively started focusing on reducing my calories. And I wanted to do it in a way where it didn't damage my health. So I'm trying to pack in as much health, nutrients, blah, 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 into that tiny number of calories as I can. And because that can get really boring really fast and be really sad and depressing, the challenge that I gave to myself was, let's see how vibrant, beautiful, exciting, culinarily inspired each meal can be. And in order to keep that habit up, instead of just diving face first into air chips or whatever the fuck else I'm trying to eat. Like, I don't eat any substitute foods. I eat full fat butter. If I'm going to, I don't eat anything like that.
You have to have joy in your day.
Because I just, those chemical tastes never worked for me even at any point. So why should they work now? So I've really got to scrimp to get them in there. And what I've been doing, I mentioned this a couple times, is I post it on Instagram. So I'm this really annoying person. The entire Instagram feed is like, here's what I ate for lunch. Here's what I ate for dinner. But what I'm finding is there's a lot of fucking people who like this, me included, because I've now started looking at other people who do that too. And I love their stuff. And I'm getting good ideas.
Right.
Do you know you could eat a frozen fucking sweet potato as a popsicle? They do this in Taiwan. It sounds terrible. It looks so good.
It sounds terrible.
Well, tune in, watch this space.
Well,
anyway,
everybody eats food, and what you're doing is a way to be healthier about it. Not everybody roller skates, and not everybody needs to fucking see that every day.
Did you see somebody went? One of the many has gone to a roller skating party. Did you see that this weekend?
No, because I think I snoozed that person.
All roller skating. So it was not just one; it was a whole bunch of friends who roller skate. So it's really a thing.
No,
it's really a thing.
not in my life. It won't be in my life.
I'm just trying to say. So we have to talk about these keystone habits, right, that make big changes. And I had to look up today to figure out, well, how long have I been doing this? Because it kind of feels like a long time, but it doesn't feel that long. It's actually been a month and 2 days. So that counts as 1 month. Guess how much weight I've lost?
How much in a month?
15 pounds.
Shut up.
That's why the glasses look better, because I've lost 15 pounds. So my face physically looks different in the glasses. But thank you for the compliment.
Shut up.
Yeah, I eat a fucking lot of lettuce. You saw. That's where it went.
Spinach
Spinach
out.
So it's kind of like a milestone.
Wow,
I'm trying
15 pounds. Atta girl.
Trying trying to keep. Well, I got a very long way to go.
Atta
Thank
girl.
you. I'm hoping that I can get up the motivation to throw out this shirt and not have a garage sale. These are my next 2 keystone habits. We'll see.
Hey,
you saw how long it took me to throw out that fucking pillow.
I didn't know that you threw out Cementies.
I finally threw out Cementi. He made it into the closet, and then he sat in the closet for probably 6 months, and then I finally threw him out.
I was going to come rescue Cementy. I didn't know he's gone.
No, my husband cheered, and I bought different pillowcases, which he hates, which I thought he would love. I bought those silk ones.
Yeah.
So
that are good for your skin and hair.
He says they're too slippy.
He slides right off.
Well, he doesn't like it. So he sleeps with 2 pillows. Like physically sleeps. Thank you.
His neck has to hurt. That's
he's
ridiculous.
He's a big dude. He's got a long way to go. I don't have a neck. Anyway, over to you.
Over to me. Hey, this week I called my parents, which could go either way every time I call. Like I have to fortify myself before I make the call.
You're still hopeful that it could go the other way?
That it could go well? Yeah.
There's only one way it's going. I'm here to tell you.
And I'm here to tell you I'm not smart enough to know that yet. So I always call when I'm on my way to the Amish market because what we do have that's positive in common is our love of food and shopping for food. It's a Jewy thing. It's just a very basic, right. So I call and my father answers, which is kind of dready because I don't like that he doesn't want to talk to me. He says things like, hold on, I'll get your mother. I'm like, or you could say hi.
In fairness, he probably doesn't want to talk to anybody on the phone.
Okay, that is true. Nonetheless, I'm his favorite person.
That's right.
P.S. I'm not.
No, I know you are. No, you are.
So let me get your mother. So he doesn't say that because she's food shopping. And I said, hey, how are you? And he says, terrible.
Oh,
this is going to go well.
I called. Yep.
Okay,
buckle up, kids.
I had to put Lily down yesterday.
Oh,
Lily is the child that they love the most.
Yes, that's right.
Keep in mind, there are 3 of us siblings, but the child they love the most is the dog that they rescued 10 years ago. And she's 14, 15, 16 years old. She's an old dog. Please do not try to teach her new tricks. You will be disappointed. So they had to put her down. About a year and a half ago, she came down with this crazy blood disorder, and they had to pay like thousands of dollars for tests. And finally, she's on medication 3 times a day, and the medications cost more than my parents' life-sustaining medications, which are like thousands of dollars a month. So she's just right now she's cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Well, right now she's dead, but cha-ching, cha-ching. So as he's telling me he had to put her down, nobody really understands that like we do. I have 4 dogs on my mantle, one of whom might have been my soulmate and completely broke me both emotionally, mentally, and physically as I tried to carry an 85, 90-pound dog limp to a car, and a disc in my back said, I'm done. I've done all I can. Yeah. I'm out. So I said, Dad, you gave her the best life. She, a year and a half ago, and he says, knock it off.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yes. Don't bring your emotional connection to me.
And I was like, what the fuck? I'm driving to the Amish market, and normally if it were in person, I've gotten much better at sharing my feelings verbally. I would have said, who the fuck are you talking to?
Dad.
With those words. Can you not hear how sad I was and relating and sharing with you what the fuck is wrong with you would have been my first expression. I know the answer, but I'm going to
ask the question. Was he really talking to you, or was there
No, he was talking to me.
Like another dog coming at him, like knock it off?
Nope. He was home alone. Okay. He told me basically to shut the fuck up and don't give me any. Move. So I said no words for the rest of the conversation. I have nothing to say to him because anything I had to say, he already told me to shut the fuck up. Like, knock it off. Like, oh my Lord. So I just sat there. And
do you know him to be super emotionally bottled up and closed off and not talky and stoic?
I know him to be incapable of I wasn't asking him to share emotions, but here, I don't know. I don't know him, if it seems, at all anymore.
Well, I asked a really loaded question and I didn't intend to. What I'm getting at is, do you think that he is just like everybody else in terms of feeling and sharing emotions, but somehow with you it's very different, with the kids it's very different? Or do you feel like in all cases he's pretty much a solid bored-faced guy and that's it? Don't talk, don't laugh, no jokes are funny, go away, sit down, shut up, pass me a cigar.
If you ask, so I did Storyworth and my mother writes these stories. So somebody,
I'm still amazed.
She still does it. He has never done it. So I took his year and I gave it to her for a second year because sometimes her answers are no. I'm like, that's a great page right there.
Yeah. $78 and
that's a great page, Nana. Thanks. So one of the questions was, who are the funniest people you know? And one of them, she said, was my father, because he tells jokes and he's all emotive and he's all, for some reason, so I don't know how this man has friends. If he just
that's what I'm getting at. Have you seen him at a cocktail? Yeah.
Zero tolerance for anybody else, just anybody else's words, anybody else's feelings or words or thoughts so I'm really I'm at my wit's end, but he just put down his best friend. So I can't say, fuck off, you dick, and hang up, which is really my go-to.
And clearly you pressed the open the door to your heart button, and he did everything he could, both hands on the wood, to shut it closed again, right? I mean, so you knew you were getting in there. But he was like, don't look at my heart. But then feel the feelings.
Right. But then he started with stories like, oh, I walked out of the house and everybody said, where's Lily? She's the mayor of this. And then he went on and on about the dog and emotions. I'm just not allowed to
start the tears.
Start anything or comment on or have a feeling or an emotion or share with him what a great thing. Like rescue really is what I do. Like, we talk about a third act and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a collector of broken things, right?
Congratulations, Stuart.
Right? Mostly dogs, right? So I have these 3 dogs, all abused in some way. And I'm just trying to love that out of them. And I did say the other day, Norma, our Bernedoodle, she changes every week. She becomes more loving. Like, when does that stop? Because
she's a camellia doodle.
She just gets better and better every week. And it's really rewarding. The one that I had to euthanize, that I had to carry, did not get better and better every week. So this is new to me. Either way, he pretty much shut me the fuck up. And I called my brother and said,
why is Dad mean?
Lily's dead. He goes, I'm not fucking calling there. I'm like, don't. Why are you so much smarter than I am?
I don't know. I was going to say the same thing.
He's so much smarter than I am.
I know. I can tell from the answer he just gave. Was your father the one who had a health condition that we were nervous about?
Still does.
A couple of months, a year ago? Okay.
Starts treatment on Monday.
Was he a super cagey dick whenever you would say, Dad, human, discuss medical, pain, ouchie,
kind
love,
of.
Outpouring of love?
No.
Knock it off!
Yeah. He never, well, I think it's also like a prostate-y kind of thing. So it's kind of almost,
talk about your prostate.
Right.
That's
so
gross.
he shuts that door real
Dad,
fast.
You know what helps your prostate? If you masturbate in the shower or get some friends over.
It probably
have
does.
Like a nice sleepover with Mom. She can record the whole thing.
Knock it off. I can't. I just, like, all I tried to do was relate on a human level. And then I just got so angry. And you can't yell at a man who just killed his dog. So I'm pretty done calling that house. Out of fear that he might answer. I have nothing left to say. I have nothing left to give. And how is my brother, who I don't know, definitely masturbates in the shower, how is he so much more?
Take it back. Take it back. Take it back. Take it back.
I take
Don't
it
do
back.
That to him.
I take it back. But he
I don't
totally
even fucking
does.
know him, and I don't want that in my head. Stop.
How is he so much smarter than I am?
I don't know. But I know he is. I can already
You have
tell.
siblings. Do you all deal with your parents
do.
differently?
Yes. Yes.
So it's kind of like you being a different parent to each one of your kids.
I think so. My perception, flawed as it may be,
Yeah.
is that my mother is the same parent to all 3 of us, and that my father is a different parent to each of us, but not vastly different. He is the same parent, but expresses it in ways that are best suited to each one of us. You know what I mean? And both of my parents very loving. They're awesome. They're great. I think it's fantastic. All good. No issues there. But the relationships are very different, and the method of dealing with any kind of conflict is very different. And the tolerance for accepting foibles and stupidity from the children, looking to the parent and accepting it is very, very vastly different.
Do you think they're more tolerant with you have a brother, with your brother?
No, I meant that in reverse. He is not tolerant of my mother when she's acting like she should enjoy some tolerance.
You know what I could use right now? Dad,
not tolerant.
I could use some tolerance.
Not tolerant. And my sister is not tolerant in a very different way. They're very different people. My brother has a lot of hair, right? He is not a look buddy. He is not a dick. But you have met a version of my brother just living in the outskirts of Philadelphia. You've met him. You've met someone like him before. He is unique as he walks the earth. And at the same time, once you're talking to him, you're like, I
know exactly who you are.
I know who you are. I know who you are. Do you know the lieutenant governor of Philadelphia? The guy who gets on television wearing like a puffy coat and track shorts. What's his name?
Yeah.
Who cares? Whatever his fucking name is. Yeah, he gets on and he looks kind of like he is awaiting arraignment, like while he's talking to the news cameras, right? So that's kind of his look. So the only difference between him and my brother, and when he opens his mouth and starts talking, everything he says, I'm like, oh, I agree with everything you're saying. And I like the way that you're saying it. And I kind of like that if I didn't agree, you might come out and slash my tires. I like everything about you, Mr. Philadelphia man. I like you. The only difference, erudite, is my brother is kind of a Republican. So he's a conservative Republican. So if he was that man, on the flip side, that's exactly who and has hair. The other guy I just described, totally bald. Look him up. He's a good dude, whatever his name is. For those of you interested in local politics,
I just don't understand that. I came from this person, and you just like what in our experience together makes you think talking to me the way you did is going to be successful, and I just need to give you a wide berth because your dog is dead. And to be honest, I'm pretty confident he loved that dog more than any of his children.
That's a stretch, but at the moment he's feeling it like he lost a child. Yeah, for sure.
So I'm just gonna put my hands up, step away, and not have any communication with, I'm gonna say it, those people for a while. And I'm just even angrier that my brother knew better than I did.
Really? Does that surprise you though?
It does, because
I feel like this man I've never met and talk about the relationship he has with his parents that I know nothing about has a good arm's length about it. Right?
He definitely keeps two arms length.
Where he's sort of like, it's sort of like they're his parents, but they were assigned to him in like a movie role. They were cast as his parents, and he gets to like rate the movie. I don't know if I'm going to watch it again. I might. Maybe on the holidays I'll watch it because it's an old favorite. Like, it's a different kind of attachment. It's very arm's length.
He's absolutely going to write to you this week about
and say how wrong that was.
No, and say that you're absolutely right. I definitely feel like they were written for me, but might have been cast poorly. Or
I don't know. I don't know that I agree.
Do you remember people's birthdays?
I don't, and and you are living proof. Yeah, I super don't. It took me a long time to get my husband's right, and I actually put it in my phone wrong, so that fucked me up for a couple of years.
Wow.
Because then I consistently get it wrong, and he's the kind of dick where he would just sort of smile and wait and not tell me. So he would just be like, "Thank you." So that
shit,
other people would call on the right day, and I'd be like, "What?" Yeah, my mother gets my birthday wrong. So birthdays to me, it's like, what the fuck? Your birth is acknowledged. I think it's great. Can we move on? I eat cake all the time. So it's not. Anyway, no, I don't remember people's birthdays. I would like to say that I do, and I won't. It's not something I'm changing. I'm happy with that one.
Some birthdays I remember because they just stick in my head forever. Like, I had a best friend in elementary school named Kelly. I know her birthday's April 4th. The same way you remember your phone number, your very first phone number. It's just there.
Right.
You can't get rid of it. And if you call it now, some stranger will answer.
My
maybe.
parents are still going to answer. The house I was born in, they still live in. So my shit's really easy. But anyway, I only remember one. I remember 2 birthdays with E's outside of my own. And they're both my kids' birthdays. One, because it relates to my birthday, it's the day before my birthday.
Right.
That's easy. And the other one, because it has a nice little sing-song quality, and I'll leave that off the air. But it's a nice little ding, ding, ding if you do the 3 numbers in a row. So it's easy. And then the other one, I never remember because I flipped the last 2 numbers. And so I can't remember if it's the year or the month. So I have the date or the month. So I flip it, and you would think I remember it because it's my fucking great-grandfather's birthday. But
well,
anyway,
your kids play sports. Like, you have to know, oh, he's under this, or you.
No, I don't. My husband does all those things. I got a marriage license, so I don't have to pay attention to that stuff. That's it.
I would like to wish a happy birthday to Lisa Rowe today. It is her birthday.
That's right. Oh, I saw that on the Interspace.
And thank God for Facebook, because if you did not tell me, my brain doesn't work that way. But I'm thrilled that Facebook did tell me. And when your dearest, dearest friends marry people that you absolutely adore, there's no better equation, because we all have friends who married idiots. And we're like, dude, kind of like your parents. Like, we have to see you because we love one of you and the other one we'll put up with. Kind of like my parents.
So funny.
You decide which is which.
Knock it off.
What the fuck? I'm your child. Anyway, when you're...
I'd love to meet him at a funeral. Yeah.
Oh my...
Can you people shut up?
Remember,
crying?
You remember he's the one with the DHOA, the Dead Homeowners Association, where this bunch of friends, they all have the lunch bunch. They get together where they're going to be buried in the mausoleum. And one of their friends is already in the mausoleum. And now the other 4 of them meet for lunch to have lunch with him until they're all in there.
Oh, right.
And it's paid for. It's all done. Everything's taken care of.
I didn't realize they called it the DHOA.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny. He is a funny guy.
He can
He's
be.
one of the funniest guys your mom knows.
There's 0 tolerance for his daughter.
So I've heard.
Yeah. So when your friends meet somebody that marry and they fit seamlessly into your group of friends, it's magical. So I'd like to thank Marty for finding you, Lisa,
big deal.
and wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I am very curious for listener feedback, and you can do so at brilliantobservations@gmail.com. Go on the socials. Facebook is Brilliant Observations or Brillobs Squad. Listen Brilliant on Instagram and Twitter, and tell us these following things. What do you know about boy sleepovers? Do you masturbate in the shower? Have you been wildly inappropriately abrupt with your daughter? And when you feel terrible about it, are you going to call her and apologize for being a dick? Or are you just used to people putting up with you being a dick and nobody cares anymore?
Right. And C and D in those lists are not associated with A and B. Those are 2 totally different topics.
Oh,
really.
Definitely.
Because you were like, sex in the shower and then jerking off and then inappropriate with your daughter. I'm like, nope. You need a harder break. Put a big breath in between.
Yeah,
them.
That's true.
They got it. And
tell us about your relationship with your parents. Were you cast poorly in your relationship? Because I definitely feel like we could use a recasting. When there is a revival of the show that my brothers and I star in, we are definitely hoping just a rewrite. Give us a rewrite. Reboot? What do you call it? We're looking forward to the reboot.
Classic. I love it.
Thank you so much for listening. We love you tons.